Alright everybody, I know it has been a while since I last uploaded a video on the channel, and I'll get into that at the end why that was the case. But based on the topic of this video, I felt this was the best video to make my return on. Discussing it, I've gotten a resounding amount of messages, comments, the list goes on, regarding the topic of the Iranian national team withdrawing from the 2026 World Cup. News came out from FIFA President Gianni Infantino that he spoke with Trump about the situation with Iran and how he reiterated that there will be no issues for the Iranian national team participating at the World Cup. Following this statement from FIFA, Iranian sports minister Ahmad Donyamali followed up by making a statement saying, "We lack the conditions to participate in the World Cup. Therefore, we have no possibility of participating in this manner." Thus, with this statement, news has been circulating around the interwebs that the Iranian national team is going to withdraw from the World Cup. Do I think it is likely that the Iranian national team will withdraw from the World Cup? Yes. But do I think this is a 100% done deal, foregone conclusion that Iran has withdrawn from the World Cup at the point of recording? No. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about this whole situation. How did we get to this point? What are my thoughts on all of it? My perspective as an Iranian national team football fan. That's what my whole channel is about, and everything in between when it comes to this topic. I'm not going to be setting a like target for this video, as I want the main focus to be about you all commenting your guys' thoughts on this whole topic that has been going on surrounding Iran, the Iranian national team, and I want this to just be an open space for all of us to talk about everything I discuss in this video in the comments down below. It has been an absurd, crazy, heartbreaking couple of months as Iranians, so I want this to be a space where we can all talk about this, as I know not only just for me, for many of you, this has just been very difficult to digest, comprehend, and handle. So first, let's get started talking about the situation, all the news articles that I've been able to gather and to be able to piece together and reference in this video, and then closing off with my thoughts. First and foremost, I do want to put this out there. I haven't really been on social media much these last couple of months. It was kind of a goal that I set for myself not to be on social media as much anymore. Obviously, the timing has coincided with the issues going on in Iran, so it has been tough trying to keep up with the news that has been going on with the country, with the national team. And all of this, for me, it has just been really hard to look at, to see the news, to see what is going on. So if there is anything that I may have missed that I didn't include in this video, please comment down below. But I do want to be upfront, be honest, be transparent with you all that I haven't really been on social media when it comes to talking about this situation. It was obvious that Iran and USA were going to have issues going into this World Cup. We saw a little bit of that at the 2022 World Cup. I was at that World Cup, so I was able to see some of that happen live with my own two eyes. But at the end of the day, yes, there is these issues, but it's football, it's a World Cup. Things will end up working out. We won't see much issues between the two countries. Iran will come, they'll play their games, probably get knocked down in the group stages, maybe make it to the round of 32, done and dusted. But obviously, in the last couple of months, there's been a lot of issues brewing within Iran. The USA stepped in, they bombed the country, and now that has created a whole lot of tension between the two countries. And it has gone to a point where it's bled to the national team, to Iran, with all this back and forth between FIFA, Donald Trump, the Iranian Football Federation, the Islamic Republic, and it has gotten to this point. For the last couple of weeks, there's been so many ongoing discussions, football news outlets talking about how Iran might withdraw. Let's see what happens. We don't think that should be the case. They should be able to go out and play. Will the USA allow them to come here? Will the Islamic Republic want to send their national team here? And so there's been like this whole cloud of varying discussions, topics of why Iran won't be coming here because of this, because of that, and how I have interpreted everything. Again, this is just my opinion. This is just how I viewed the whole thing. Because of what the USA did, striking Iran, the Islamic Republic is the one that is putting most of the pushback towards FIFA and the US, saying, hey, we're not going to send our team there. You guys attacked us, using essentially the national team as like a toy that they're kind of like dangling in front of the US, being like, you know what, if you guys are going to do all this, we're not going to send our national team to the World Cup, essentially throwing like a temper tantrum. Some people have interpreted the situation that Donald Trump, the US, are not going to allow Iran to come and play. Trump has put out a handful of statements saying that he will welcome the Iranian national team, and as well, he has put out posts talking talking about the women's Iranian national team at this Asian Cup, how he's wanted to offer help to them. From my perspective, from everything that I've seen, from everything that I know when it comes to the Iranian national team, the Islamic Republic, being Iranian, been seeing this almost my entire life. It's almost like a back and forth between two kids, Donald Trump, the Islamic Republic, and then the Iranian national team is caught in this weird, funky middle. A variety of news outlets have talked about it. ESPN FC, Sky Sports have talked about this topic. It's just such a messy situation. How I've interpreted the whole thing is the Islamic Republic are scared, worried, they have no control going into this World Cup. We saw some of this with the female national team at the Asian Cup. They want to send their representatives, their people in the IRG with Iran to this World Cup. But of course, the US is not going to grant all these people visas. They are upset about the attacks the US have had on Iran. They are worried about what the diaspora in LA and in Seattle will do at these World Cups. They were upset about what the women's national team did, not singing the national anthem in their opening match in the Asian Cup. The men's team has already proven that and have already done that in the previous World Cup in Qatar in 2022 in their opening match against England. And they're just using the Iranian national team as like their toy, their puppet, their little dangling worm on their little fishbowl. It's a constant back and forth with Trump, FIFA, the Islamic Republic, the Football Federation with this whole topic. And just like with most football federations, the Iranian one is corrupt. It's no different from Mexico, Brazil, US, whatever national team it may be. Most of these football federations are corrupt, and it is no different here for Iran. The Islamic Republic is putting their foot in, using the football federation, using them to be like, you know what? Our national team, we're not going to come play because of everything you did. And I think that is just so frustrating on so many levels. But again, I think this is more talk. I think this is more of a temper tantrum. Because at the end of the day, for many of you that may not know, there are a lot of repercussions and a lot of loss that the Iranian Football Federation, the Islamic Republic, will endure if they do withdraw from this World Cup. They'll miss out on millions and millions of dollars that they will be provided for participating at the World Cup, possible future penalties and major tournaments, Asian Cups, World Cups, and we all know that they don't want to be losing out on money and possible future money and screwing themselves over in future Asian Cups and World Cups. So that is why I've always viewed it as just a temper tantrum. It's them just bickering back and forth because this would be an astronomical move by them to do something like this. It's gonna cost them a lot, not only here and now on the present day, but for the future. And as someone that has followed this national team for 10 years now, we all know that they don't necessarily want that to be the case either. They're just using this national team to try and scare the US. But the Iranian Football Federation, the Islamic Republic, they're making such a big deal out of it, thinking they have so much power when in reality, they don't really got that much and they're playing with fire here. And I think this report by Yuri Levy, who is a very reputable European reporter who has talked about Iran in numerous World Cups, and I think in a very manner. I think this is very, very well put together. So if you need to pause the video to read everything, I think this is currently what the situation is right now for the Iranian national team. It's very much along the lines of how me and many of the people within the Iranian footballing circle has viewed everything. Because this isn't our first rodeo when it comes to the Iranian national team. They have done so much weird stuff, so much weird behavior in the past. You cannot always trust word for face value everything that they say or do. They have gone so back and forth when it comes to so many things. So that is how I've interpreted the current situation right now when it comes to Iran playing at this World Cup. I mean, I've even reached out to one of the players on the national team. I'm not gonna say who it is, but even the players themselves aren't even sure about the topic. That's how insane this whole thing is. The players themselves are not even being kept in the loop about what is going on. And now before we move on to my thoughts, I have seen a handful of people talk about how, oh, well, Iran are withdrawing because the Islamic Republic don't want the players to go to the US and defect in the US, similar to what a lot of the female players did at this recent Asian Cup in Australia. I want to just straight up debunk that right now. That's not at all the case. A lot of the players already play across Europe. They don't even play in Iran. And even, for example, for the Iranian players, funnily enough, if you guys have watched a lot of my videos on the channel, us Iranians want more of the players to go play in Europe or around the world and not be playing in Iran. So we've been on this boat for getting Iranians to go see the world, get out there, go play their football elsewhere for a long, long time. It is not at all the case that they're going to defect. The situation with the women's players is completely different from the men's players. They are freely able to go to wherever they want to go. Obviously, they would have a hard time getting visas in the US compared to other nationalities that may come to the US to build a new life and whatnot. But we want our footballers to get out of Iran, but they want to be in Iran. They are celebrities. They are millionaires in that country. So no, it is not at all the case of, oh, the players, if they went to the US, they're going to defect here. They're going to do something like that. No, that's not at all the case when it comes to a lot of these footballers. They are free to go. They are free to go to whatever countries they want. If anything, many of us Iranian football fans want a lot of our players to go play in Europe or other countries around the world because the PGPL really sucks. But when it comes to my thoughts on this topic, how I viewed everything that has been going on in Iran, now that it is boiled over to this likely withdrawal for the 2026 World Cup. This whole situation that's been going on with Iran has been very sad. It's been upsetting for someone like me who loves the Iranian national team. Yes, I was born in the US, but both my parents are Iranian. I've always felt a special connection to Iran, to my people there, to this national team. My first and main love will always be football. And especially when it comes to Iranian football, it just goes above and beyond. And it has broken my heart seeing everything that's been going on in the country. It breaks my heart seeing always the issues, the light that the Iranian national team, Iranian football has always been shined in. Seeing all these reports about Iran this, Iran that, and that's why I just really can't bring myself to be on social media too much. It makes me really sad to mentally to a point where I almost wanted to just ball up in a corner and just cry. It's so hard for me to digest because I've grown up in an Iranian household, know so many amazing Iranians. I've been fortunate enough to talk to many players on the national team from Jahanbakhsh, Bedashur, Saeed Manesh, Taremi. And the crazy part is they're just like me and all of you watching this video. They are just guys, dudes that just have millions of followers and that make millions of dollars, but they are almost no different from any of us. They are just normal people. They're just football fans that are just chasing their dreams, playing the sport that they love. I know over the last few years, a lot of people have been divided on this team, but for the most part, these players are playing for the people. They want to make Iranians proud. They want to bring joy to millions watching around the world. They're not playing for the government. They're playing for the Iranian people. And their actions both on and off the field, from their charitable work to messages they've shared online, has shown that over the years. That's why it's unfortunate that many fans feel conflicted about supporting this team, because these players deserve to feel the full backing from their people and their federation at the biggest tournament in the world. Instead, they carry a weight that most national teams never have to deal with. And it has shown time and time again for Iran, it's never just football at a World Cup. And at this point, yes, I know I've said it's not 100% a done deal that Iran is withdrawing from the World Cup, but I have accepted that it is likely the trajectory that we are going to, that Iran will withdraw from the World Cup. It's gonna be wild to see what the ramifications are for the Iranian national team, deserved or undeserved, but it is just a whole messy situation. And as someone that has covered Iran now for the last couple years going into this World Cup cycle, obviously I've been following the Iranian national team very rigorously since the 2014 World Cup. It is definitely a huge bummer, and I'm really sad about this whole situation, but obviously, there's bigger things going on in the country, and that's just the reality of the situation. It has definitely been a tough pill to swallow for Iranian football fans. Since the 2018 World Cup, a very high of how well we played, how together we all were as Iranians for the national team at that World Cup, and it has just been a hard downslide since then with the issues that happened at the 2022 World Cup. As I said, I was there for it, so I got to witness and see the divide, the togetherness, the joy, the sadness for that World Cup. It was not ideal, to say the least. And essentially, it's like a here we go again to even larger scale for this World Cup. And as someone that loves the sport, loves football, the biggest reason why I love it so much is because I always viewed it as a way of separating, the political side of countries to the football. We all go to a stadium to watch our two teams play, regardless of what background, where they come from, to watch 22 two men in short shorts kick a ball around with there being some joy for one team, being disappointment for another team, but at the end of the day, we all come together. And that is why I always have loved the sport, because I felt like it broke all political barriers. It brought people together. You viewed people as footballers, not what their country does politically or what their government does. So that's why I have such a passion for the Iranian national team, to see these players go play in Europe, have that little glimmer of brightness towards Iran, towards the people, bring a different kind of joy for Iranians across the world. And more as I've gotten older, I've realized, unfortunately, when it comes to the Iranian national team, politics and the football really bleed together too much. And we're seeing it especially here. And I wish that wasn't the case, because I feel like for a lot of these players, they deserve the shot to play in this World Cup for a variety of reasons. For the older players, this is their last attempt, this last shot for this golden generation at a World Cup to maybe finally make history, make it to a knockout round. Or for the younger players that really don't have anything to lose but so much to gain, to play in the US, to maybe have that one moment of brilliance, to get their shot to play in Europe, or maybe even at some point come play in the US, in MLS, to play alongside Messi, to play against Messi. All these factors play a part, but unfortunately it just doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. One thing that was sent to me, shout out to Darren for sending it to me, was this clip that was made by a very big, I believe, American sports podcast media page that spoke about this situation, because I really like the points that they make, and I think it's very well spoken.
I actually think it would be very impactful if President Trump comes out and says, we want Iran to represent the good people of Iran in the World Cup. It's an opportunity to send a message to the people of Iran that you are on their side. Qualifying for the World Cup is an incredible accomplishment of great national pride for most countries around the world. We should allow Iranian players to stand up and represent the good people of Iran in games that are taking place this summer in the United States. President Trump should come out and say, I will get these players from Iran, I will get them to the United States, and we will keep them safe, and we will allow them to represent the country of Iran. I think it would be a very strong statement to make. I think it would echo in a profound way, using sport as a very positive influence to connect with people around the world, and for the United States to say, we want the Iranian people to be able to have pride in Iran.
And to conclude this video, I'd like to address why I hadn't been posting content for the last couple of months. With everything that's been happening in Iran, I felt football needed to be set aside. It just didn't feel right to focus on content while our people were going through so much. My heart goes out to all the families who have lost loved ones. The killings and violence have been devastating, and I want to send my deepest condolences to everyone affected. At the same time, the bravery, strength, and unity shown by the Iranian people, both back home and by Iranians across the world, have been incredible. The courage to stand up, to raise your voices, and to support one another deeply inspires me. I stand with my people, I mourn those we have lost, and I carry hope in my heart for a brighter future. I truly believe that better days are ahead for our beautiful country and our beautiful people. So I'll leave you all with that, and as I said in the beginning of the video, drop your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I want this to be an open discussion. I want you all to get whatever feelings you have off your chest in the comments down below, as I want this to be an open discussion for us all to discuss everything that has been going on, and especially when it comes to this topic with the Iranian national team withdrawing from the 2026 World Cup. With that, boys and girls, I hope you'll have a lovely day.